Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction. Everton 1, Manchester United 3. Another very, very disappointing performance, wasn't it? 3 defeats in a row now. It's been absolutely disastrous last month since the international break. Seems a very long time now since we beat Brighton. Obviously no wins in 4. And again today, defensive mishaps again have cost us. You know, we took the lead through Bernard, a good goal maybe against the run of play, and then, you know, Manchester United with 2 very, very simple goals. You know, just 2 crosses from the same area that weren't stopped, and players, you know, the first one obviously Bruno Fernandes just walking in between just the centre backs, and the second goal, you know, whether Rashford got a touch on it or not, you know, he's been allowed to walk into the box, and there's 7 players in the box. I counted 7 Everton players in the box, and he still had that space, whether he touched it or not, to affect. Well, certainly put the goalkeeper off anyway. But you know, Everton have got to score 3 goals at the moment to win a game of football, and certainly with no Richarlison being available in this last 3 games, it's just not. It's not capable. We're not capable, but we shouldn't have to be capable. We should be able to play games and scratch out 1-0 wins, and that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen at all either. The balance of the team at the moment, I think the biggest problem is, and I've said this a few times, and you could certainly see that again, we've rushed players back. Seamus Coleman didn't look fit, or certainly looked rusty. James Rodriguez didn't look fit. Mason Holgate looked very rusty. And suddenly you've got a team of, again, just it's not square pegs round holes territory. It's just, it feels like we've not had any flow for the last month. You've got the left hand side situation again with you know, Bernard starting in this game, and again it's about, you know, there's been no continuity at all, and maybe that's been a major factor in the last month. Whereas the first few games it was the same team. Every league game is the same team, bar a couple of players maybe. But today we just had very little quality, and again in the final third we had no quality. Everything was just crossed into the box, and that's what Maguire loves. Let's be honest, he loves headering the ball away all day long. That's, you know, and they made it count in the final third for those, and obviously they put the icing on it in the last minute, when really we should have equalised at the other end. Decore, who was again just not in the last month, he's been a player who's played every week. He's been majorly disappointing. But it was, you know, listen, we've come out second half 2-1, and we've had a little bit more of the ball, and I think Alan Part was a lot better second half. Dom doing a lot better. Well, certainly was, you know, he was trying to get himself into the game, and we had some nice combinations. I thought Dean and Bernard were on it today, and you know, we've seen Dean hit the post, where I don't know whether he should have laid it onto Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but listen, you know what? Let me just say one thing. This is exactly why when we were winning games, we were really happy, and because this is Everton. We know what's going to happen. We know there's going to be massive ups and downs, and we knew this was going to happen at some point. I think Carlo Ancelotti said it himself, when the bubble bursts, it's how we react, and we've reacted really poorly. You know, as an Everton fan, what you're going to get. So when we were winning the games, we were enjoying them, and that's exactly why we were enjoying them. And that should never be a stick to beat a fan with. I'm always maintain this. If you're winning games, you should enjoy winning the games. It's not always about the big prize at the end of the season, which obviously very, very rarely comes for us. So you've got to enjoy it. But today, this is just not good enough, and we know we need better players, and we need the players who are our better players to be more consistent. We've not really made De Gea do much today. That'll be a massive issue. But again, it's that thing of, like, as I said, it's that thing of we're getting no continuity in our play at all. There's no continuity because we've had to change the side so many times. Players don't look fit. And again, what I would say as well, players don't look fit in general. every time we play a team, or certainly the teams in the last few weeks, they look fitter and stronger than us. You look at Southampton, the trajectory they've gone in the last few games, where maybe they had a bit of a slow start, but now they're up and running. They look fitter. Newcastle, who aren't a good side, looked fitter and more organised than us. And I think that's got to be a major issue. But maybe that comes from putting together 5-6 games with the same 9-10 players every week. You know, we made the decision today to bring Mason Holgate back. Was it the right one? Well, I don't know, ultimately, because you might say, well, we want Mason Holgate back in the side and we've got to get him back in the side at some point. There's no point training doesn't work in terms of match fitness. They don't put players into the under-23 games anymore. So you've got to put them in somewhere. I don't know. Maybe if they'd left it till after the international break, he's got a couple of weeks more training. I don't know. They'll know more than I do, but I just think more in general, some of our players don't look fit or get off to... Like Alan. Alan's a classic case. He starts the games quite slowly, but then second half looks a lot better, and that's... I don't know whether that's a fitness thing or what. I don't know. He, like, second half, he generally is really good, but first half, he starts games really slowly and tends to pick up a foul or a yellow card and picks up a few fouls. So it's a very strange situation at the moment. I don't think we should all be sitting here panicking and thinking it's the end of the world. But we've got to get better. Let me just say one thing. Bruno Fernandes, absolute dog. What an absolute dog that man is. He should have been sent off today on a second yellow, and somehow the referee has allowed him to get away with it. I don't know how he's going to allow him to get away with it. If you can hear a strange noise, that's actually my window cleaner cleaning the windows. I apologise if you can hear that. You probably can. I will continue on anyway. Bruno Fernandes should have been sent off today because he was a dog all game. He got booked, and how he never got a second booking, I'll never ever know. He went over the top on at least two of our players, pulling shirts. He shouldn't have been on the pitch. It's as simple as that. In the second half, he shouldn't have been on the pitch. The ref was atrocious again, and I don't normally moan about refs. I'll leave that to Baz. But how he let Bruno Fernandes get away with some of the tackles he was putting in, and it wasn't even like they were looked at. They was just like, oh, he's not that type of player. It's mad. And then you see Decore do one foul and he gets booked. You see Trent Tosun do one foul and he's booked. Bruno Fernandes was walking around the pitch. It's like the one that Jordan Pickford dropped, which really should have just let go over his head. It was flying out. But Maguire gives him a tap on the stomach, and they're like, oh, they're checking this for a penalty. And McManaman's going, oh, this is a definite penalty. It's like, he's hit him and he made him drop the ball. Like, why is this bias? It's mad. Absolutely maddening. But we've got to dust ourselves off and get back to some kind of shape and some kind of way of playing. And as I've said for weeks, it might be about cutting down that midfield and making it 3 solid players. Richarlison's going to be a massive help. 2 weeks of... If I was the club, I'd seriously be saying to Seamus Coleman and James Rodriguez, bin the internationals. I know they won't, but I'd be saying that to them because they need rest, not games, both of them. Seamus looked, although he was making some really good runs today, he still doesn't look himself. He looked better than the last 2 players who played at right back in the right back position, but they need rest. And I know we probably won't play for Ireland, but they definitely need to rest, and we need to get all our players back fit. It's like this. We're chasing our tail on this situation at the moment, but then that comes from having a poor squad. Simple as that. Gylfi Sigurdsson's stealing a living, by the way, and I know we've said this loads of times, but he's absolutely stealing a living. He was abysmal today, and he's taken all the set pieces which were abysmal. And Iwobi came on, and Iwobi done more in 10 minutes than he did in the entire game. That's why I had Iwobi in my starting 11. Whether you bring Iwobi on, what you could do with Iwobi is you could bring him on and play midfield, in the middle of midfield, and then maybe swap him with James during the game. Play him out wide, then put him in the middle. James Rodriguez looks a real threat when he plays centrally, but we only really do that when we're chasing the game, because you're giving something up in your midfield. I think I've never... Listen, I'm not someone who thought because we had a good start it was gonna mean we were gonna do anything miraculous. I always thought that it was all about getting Europa League. That's, to me, is what it's all about, getting Europa League. Whether that's 7th and someone wins the cup or we win a trophy, but to me it's about getting 6th or 7th, nothing else. And the outlay that the people who own this club have outlaid in the last few years, they will ask for that. The money Carlo Ancelotti's on and the players he's asked to bring in, which they've done, that's their job to do that. So nothing else matters. So people can laugh, and fans of other clubs can say, you thought you were going to win the league. No, we never. No one for 1 minute thought we were going to win the league. Don't be stupid. But we've got to try and get Europe, because when you see other clubs who've had more years doing it, Wolves, Leicester, who look a lot more organised than we do. Because that's the other thing we have to ask ourselves: what is the style of play? If we're not scoring goals from crosses and set pieces, then how are we scoring the goals? And yes, we scored a good goal today, but it was from a long ball and it was a knockdown, and Bernard's done well. But where's the patterns of play that get us into the situation that we score goals? That takes long term coaching and with better players. So it's going to take time. We need to get that midfield sorted. So it's a solid 3, not one of them who can just do what he wants like Gylfi Sigurdsson and just like point at players and then they go and score. You need players who actually get back. If you see someone, you see danger, you don't point at it, you stop it. So we need another player in midfield who can do that, who can go in. And that's up to the manager now to find a short-term answer and then a long-term answer, as far as I'm concerned. It's bad. Listen, this is reality. This is who Everton are. This is who Everton have been for a generation. And it wasn't going to turn around overnight. It was a great start to the season, but now it's starting to even itself out. And let's just hope that when we come back from the international break, with Holgate obviously back, Jean-Philippe Gbamin not that far away now, but obviously he'll take a while. James, Coleman available, that we can get into some kind of rhythm, because I think that's the real problem. We've just been absolutely... With Richarlison going out the team was a massive factor, and it's shown. And that was down to him, nobody else. His stupidity, doing what he did in the Merseyside derby, absolutely stupid. But, that's life, that's football. That's why you have to have squads. That's why teams who have good squads finish in the top positions. Because even if you've got the best 11, if you've got nothing underneath that, you will not do anything in football. Now, we certainly haven't got the best 11 out there. But there's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more hunger, more passion, more desire. You don't point to players and say someone else picked them up. You pick them up. We've been guilty of that today. So really, really disappointing manner in which we've lost the game today. Defensive frailty shown again. And we've got to get a balance to this team. We've got to find a balance to it.